Welcome to In the Know. I'm your host, Angela Roberts, and today my guest is Joy Harris, author and motivational speaker. Hello, Joy.
Hi, Angie. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for joining me. Very busy lady right now. You have a new book.
A new book, Authentic Joy, Finding True Joy in a Compromising World.
Exactly. And this is your book. I've
That's
been
it.
reading it in my spare time. When did you first realize that you wanted to be a writer?
I think at an early age, I used to write poetry, and then I started writing essays. Probably at 13, I really started cultivating a passion to write.
Okay. How long does it take to write a book?
I think that the time varies. For me, that particular book took me 97 days. I don't think that that's the norm.
Oh.
Yeah, but I wrote that book in 97 days.
Okay. So as far as young writers, because like you were saying, you started at 13, 97 days.
97 days. Now, some other things that I have written have taken me a much longer.
Okay.
So I think it just depends on the time that you dedicate to it, and as well as, you know, the flow of the writing. So it may take someone 97 days, or it may take several months.
Okay.
So it just depends.
Okay. So like, what is your schedule like when you're writing this book between, you know, is there another job? Are there other things that you have to do plus write this book?
There was a lot of things that I had to do. I'm a full-time student. I'm finishing up on my master's, so I had classwork, and I do a lot of volunteer work, and so I had to really devote time for the book. So what I did was I took 3 hours a day and made sure that I sat down and said, okay, let me write. And sometimes it flowed really well, and sometimes I didn't write anything. But the point is to be dedicated and disciplined enough to sit down for a period of time, however much time you can allot, to write, and just to let the creativity just kind of flow.
So basically for a young writer, they have to be organized.
Organized.
Time management.
Yes, that is the key. Time management and being organized, and not wasting time, so to speak, but making the best of every moment of your day that you have. If you have a free moment and you've got a pad and a pen beside you, well, write a little bit. Always keep a pad and pen beside them, so they can, just as something creative comes, they can have that written down so they don't forget it.
Okay. So as far as this book, you're like, where do you get your information when you're writing a book?
I think it can come from various avenues. It can come from your life experiences. It can come from something that you've seen on the TV that sparks a thought, or something someone says that sparks a thought, or you're just your own thoughts. And then that flows and it keeps it moving. So it can come from a lot of different avenues, and I'd say don't discredit any source, because something may spark a whole article or a whole book just by one thought or one activity or an experience.
Okay. What was your inspiration for this book?
After my father's death, I just knew that I needed to do something to help get me out of a dark place, because I was really sad. I was really hurt by my father's death. And so I started writing, of course, about joy, because we have to have joy in everything. And even in my father's death, I still could experience joy in my heart. So from there, that kind of inspired me to write, having authentic joy in a compromising world, because things around us go and come, but can we still say we have joy when those things are gone? So that's kind of the inspiration behind the book.
Okay. What do you like to do when you are not writing? Because I know you have a lot going on between going to school and then you are promoting this book.
Right.
So what do you like to do in your spare time?
I love to volunteer. I volunteer for probably 7 different organizations, and it's just a joy for me. It's something that frees my mind. It takes my focus off of my own life and my own maybe personal struggles, and I'm able to give back into the community and help other people you know, achieve their goals and dreams, or just along the way. So I do a lot of volunteer work, and I do a lot of speaking. So those are the things I really like to do in my spare time.
Okay. So as far as your motivational speaking, have you been into some of our schools doing things?
I have been into a few school activities. I've done some stuff with Black Achievers
Okay.
outside of the school system, but I work with all age groups. I do some youth achiever kind of things where I'm helping teenage students and middle school students with self-esteem and etiquette and just various things like that.
Okay, fine. What is one of the most surprising things you have found as far as creating this book here?
It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. I thought, oh, this is going to be so hard. I can't do this. This is going to be bigger than me. But really, when I chunked it down, and I would encourage students to, if they're, wanting to write a book, to do it in chunks. Don't see it as a whole book that you have to do all at once, but take it in sections and break it down and make it small to where it's manageable. And then once you get that section done, you've accomplished something, so it gives you some fuel to keep going. So it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. I think I made it harder than it really was.
Okay. I noticed because I'm finally past the 2 chapters, you actually have questions in the back of the book, and I like that for the simple fact that so many kids do not kind of go back and think about what they've read, but the way you've structured this book is at the end, you can kind of go back and ask questions.
I think it's good to self-reflect and to ponder on the things that we've read. That's how we retain it, I think, and it also gives us a way to better ourselves. We can look at those questions and we're kind of forced to answer them, and when we put the answer on the paper, then we're held accountable. So I think it's good to always read and then reflect in any, whatever you're reading, in any atmosphere. You just need to reflect on things, and I think that reflection is good. It grows us, it increases us.
Okay. Now I always know, like, when you are, after you've written a book, you have to find a publisher. How did you go about getting a publisher and all the things to actually get this printed and out to the public?
What I did was I went through a self-publishing company called Zulon Press. It was as simple as me writing the book and hitting send, and I sent it to them, and the package that I purchased, actually, they did everything for me. I didn't have to do anything else other than write it. So it really made the process really easy, and a lot of people do that work themselves, but for me, I just chose to pay someone else to do it. Made it simple. I wrote the book, and then they did the rest.
So they actually just sent everything back to you, and as far as your cover and things like that, how did you get your cover?
I actually had a friend do the cover for me, and I just sent that cover with the manuscript, and then they put it all together. So it's really an easy process.
So the people that actually have read your book, do they contact you and say, hey, Miss Harris, I really like the book, or you didn't put this in the book? What do your readers say?
It's interesting. I get emails all the time about how encouraged they are about the book, or how they don't like me because I challenged them, but it's all in fun and in good laughter that, oh, I'm mad at you because you challenged me in this area of my life. But I've had really great response from the book. I've got a lot of reviews on the online websites from like Amazon. I've got some reviews on there. So it's been positive, and I'm grateful, and I encourage constructive criticism. It only can make me better, so I appreciate that.
Okay. Are you working on a second book?
I am. I've got some titles for another book, but I'm going to hold off because I'm going to be working on a dissertation, and one of the titles I think is going to probably be my dissertation.
Okay.
So.
And then along with going to school, this book, you're also up for a scholarship of $20,000. Can you kind of explain that, and what, if you are the winner, what will you do with that $20,000?
Yeah, there's a competition I've stumbled across called Black Opal Beauty Contest. And actually, you could be the face of Black Opal if you won, along with a $20,000 scholarship. And so I was selected out of several thousand to be the top 50. And today's the last day to decide whether I'll go to the top 10. And the top 10 win $2,500 scholarship, and then the winner will receive a $20,000 scholarship. So I hope to use that if I'm the winner to pay for my postgraduate stuff.
Now, if you actually win, what will you major in?
Right now, I'm considering my master's in mental health counseling, and so I'm going to keep on with that with a focus on family therapy.
Okay. So how does one go about getting Authentic Joy?
They can go to my website, which is joyaharris.com. Any online bookstore can, they can get it from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and any bookstore can order it for them in the United States and internationally.
Okay. If our schools would like to have you come out and talk to the girls group, boys group, how do they get in touch with you?
Likewise, they can go to my website and there's a contact form, joyaharris.com, or they can call me personally, 859-753-8002. And I do a lot of pro bono stuff, and I would love to come in and just share with young people and volunteer that time just to help them along the way.
Okay. What is one thing that you would like to leave with young writers that's trying to get their information out there, write a book, do something? What is one thing you like to leave with them?
Be persistent. Don't allow things to deter them from achieving their goals and dreams. Someone may say, oh, this is not good, but if it's good for them, keep cultivating it, keep working on it, keep inspiring to do whatever they have in their heart to do, and just keep moving forward, because some things in life, you know, you're going to be turned away, but that doesn't mean that what they're doing is not good. It just means that person didn't receive it. So just to continue to persevere and to continue to write and continue to cultivate their writing skills through English and doing the things in school, because that stuff really does come into play when they're trying to write a book. They need their English skills. They need to know how to write proper sentences, and to just seek help, ask for help. And I'm willing to help in any way that I can, any young writer that may want some help with writing.
So they can contact you. You
Yeah,
do not have a problem with that.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I thank you for joining me, and I definitely am going to finish this book. It's awesome, and I'll be back with you later.